So, okay. Let's take a look at where we're at. So, okay, so you have been doing the full assassin build. How have you been liking this, I guess more assassin style build? Has it felt
Yeah, I
good?
like it.
But
I feel like I
okay.
do a lot more damage because I
Yeah.
used to build the Cosmic Drive
Yeah.
and the
Hmm.
I forget.
Yeah, like Cosmic Strike, Blackfire Torch, and a
Yeah,
little bit
Blackfire
more of
Torch.
like
Yeah.
a supportive style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so builds obviously looks good in terms of RCS. It's not bad as well, low deaths. So yeah, we'll take a look. I mean, so far there's nothing big that jumps out at me specifically just from looking at your OPGG. Like you have a lot of games, which is good, which means your mastery on RE is quite high, and your KD is good, and your farm is honestly not too bad for this rank as well. So yeah, we'll definitely see where you're at. I'll take a look.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just start with this one. All right, Vigar, cool. So I guess my first question would be, silver, so gold. So my first question for you would be, when it comes to working on matchups, what specifically do you struggle with in these matchups? Is it understanding how the enemy champion wants to play? Is it understanding when you want to trade? Like, what do you feel like has some friction there? If you could point anything out in specific.
Yeah, there's actually like a lot of champions that I haven't played.
Yeah.
So I think some of them I just don't know what
Mm,
they do or what they want to do. Like
mm,
Akali was a huge one and
okay.
Diana. So
Right.
I played a couple normal games with them,
Yeah.
but and then also I feel like I struggle level 1 a lot,
Okay.
like
Okay.
with the electrocute trade,
Okay. Yeah, we'll take
and
a
you'll
look.
see that here.
Mhm. Alright, yeah, so you have the right idea. I think what you wanna really be doing when you're laning is you wanna find what are called windows to trade, okay? This is gonna be a very, very important fundamental to develop. So, the premise of laning is all about who can get push, okay? Because as a mid laner, you wanna be on the map making plays, right? So push and priority allows you to do that, okay? And hit the most amount of minions. These are the two key reasons why like laning exists, right? Because you think about it, if you don't need to last hit, you would never need to interact. If you don't need push, you would never need to interact. So these are like the two, I guess, pillars to approaching lane. Okay. So
Okay.
whenever you're trading or you're trying to look for a window to trade, it should be because of one of these two reasons. Do you understand? It's either you're going to trade and that gets the blow, which will allow you to push, right? Or you're going
Okay.
to trade to deny the minions or get yourself minions. Okay? So this is kind of the foundation of laning. And so if we just kind of break down this level one, do you think going for a trade like right now is aligned with either of these two opportunities here? Like is trading with him here going to let you all of a sudden get the wave under turret? Let's start there.
No.
No. Is trading here going to allow you to get a minion you would have not been able to get or deny him a minion?
No.
Exactly. So this is what we're going to tie everything around today, okay? So when we break down this level 1, the reason why this feels awkward for you is it's too early, right? We want to try to go for a trade when one of these minions get low, or we want to go for a trade to allow us to push, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what do you think we should do differently here based off of these two things we just wrote down?
So I knew he had his Q.
Mhm.
Should I wait until he like uses it on a minion
Yeah,
or
exactly.
okay,
Wait until he uses it on a minion or yeah, exactly right. And what do you think we should be doing in terms of like the wave right now as well?
attacking it,
Yeah,
auto
exactly to get
attacking
the
it.
exactly to get the push. So I would say when it comes to the level 1 versus this is specifically for range champions, okay?
Hmm.
What you want to be doing is you want to establish the push early with auto attacks, right? To fulfill step number 1. And then your timing to trade should be when they go for a last hit or their spells are on CD. Okay, this is what you're looking for because this will help you a lot when deciding when to trade because it probably feels pretty overwhelming to understand. Like, okay, I want to like trade now, right? Because you need to find specific, I guess, things to look for. You see what I mean?
Yeah, so I shouldn't just, like, walk into him
No,
because he has his spells up, I need to wait
exactly.
until he uses it.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right. So here's a great window here. Notice here, what does he have to do right now?
last hit.
So this would be a great window here to go for a W, auto W.
Okay.
Yep, keep the push going. Lovely. So he's got no Q, and he's gonna go for that minion. So this is a good window there. So I think what you can do whenever you're, trying to punish is just right click them. Like put your mouse directly on them and just right click him. Because that will just get your character immediately to auto attack him, like sprint towards him to auto attack him. And then once you see your auto attack about to come out, you can just W him.
Like, after he uses his ability.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
I'm not always noticing either, like, sometimes I do, but
Yeah, right. Well, because the key is look at this minion here, right? He wants to go
yeah,
for this last hit here. So basically, what we want to do is we want to train ourselves to be able to identify. Okay, when is a window where he has to go for a last hit? Because he can't cast anything when he has to go for a last hit, and his auto attack is very short range. So this is the perfect window to go for a trade. Let me actually see if I have an example here. Just gonna find one. Me playing Ahri. Show you what I mean. I guess I range champion. Let's take a look at this one. But that's not sorry E. Never mind. Because there's a one. Let's look at this one. Okay, here's a great example here. Okay, let's freeze frame it. If you're Lux, which minion are you going to go for right now? This one, right?
yeah.
So you're gonna notice the second I see that, look at my positioning. Walk up, auto W. Right on that last hit punish. And you don't always have to get your electrocute. That's the other thing I'll say. Don't worry about greeting electrocute. Just get auto W and then back off. Auto W, back off. Auto W, back off. Because electrocute is gonna make you be too far forward and then they can keep trading with you. But
Okay.
you see that? Kind of what I did there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, so I'd say that's already like the big thing I'm noticing is like we want to train ourselves to be able to number one, notice when a last hit is low. Last hit for the enemy. And then second thing is punish by stepping forward, auto plus W, run back. Level one. And then later in the game you can do auto WQ run back. Okay. I mean you are up 6 CS, so we're chilling. We're pretty happy right now. Basically, what I'm noticing is we're missing the windows to to trade with him, right?
Okay.
So, like, if we go back to this one, I'd be keeping my eye out on this minion here. Because think about it, right? If you stand over here and he goes for the Q on this minion, he can't Q you, right? So you're basically telling Vigar, hey, go for this minion or go for me. Make a choice.
Because his thing is linear, so if you stand over
Correct.
there.
Yeah. And most
Gotcha.
mages are not going to have abilities that can like hit from both sides. So again, just real quick, when we go back to the Lux example, it's the same. Look at my positioning here with Lux. So you see how always standing on these outskirts. I'm always going to be somewhere here or somewhere here. Because if you stand in these areas, if Lux goes for E, she can't eat these and me. Like it's not that big. So she's got to make a
Right.
choice. Does she want to go for the minions when they're low, or does she want to go for me? I'm making her make a decision. Because if you take too much damage from doing this, she's going to be behind in CS, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to push and reset and TP back, and then I'm happy. So you want to try
Okay.
to train yourself to position against these range champions to stand outside the wave over here and these pockets to make them make a
That's a
decision.
range champion thing?
Yeah, I guess range champions. That's right.
Okay.
And yeah, so the theory behind this is that we make them make a decision. Do I want to farm the minion or harass Ari? Right? Okay. So if we take a look at Vagar, what do you notice?
He has no mana.
Great. So how can we punish this based off of the two things we talked about?
Um, I guess I could push.
Yes. Lovely. That's step one. And then how do we deny him minions when he's a slow mana? What would we do?
Like harass him when he goes for last
Correct. Yep,
hits.
exactly. Yep. So have a little bit more of an aggressive positioning, and then get ready to immediately slam your spells on him when he tries to go for a last hit.
Okay, I have a question about that actually. So,
Yeah, of
like,
course.
if my opponent's in like a bad condition like this,
Mm-hmm.
would you ever just not push to zone them off the wave,
Yes.
or is it always
Yep.
better to push? Because I think that's what I was maybe thinking here.
Okay, great question. Okay, so what you want to do is so the question is, when do I push if I have the lead, right? That's basically what you're saying.
Hmm.
That's the question. Okay. So the answer is going to be it depends on the time of the game, okay? So what I would say is just a general rule of thumb, the later into the game slash lane it is, the more willing you should be to push. Because keeping them under tower allows you to roam, okay? But early game, so I'd say this is like first 8 minutes, keep it in the middle and deny him.
Okay.
Okay? So yeah, like at this point in the game, pushing is not going to really lead you to any type of skirmish that you're happy with, right? Like, because you don't have R, you don't have Lost Chapter, you're not really like too excited to take a fight right now, anyway, as an
Hmm.
Ari. So it's like the whole reason why you push is to allow you to get to a play, but we don't need to do that right now. So don't worry about pushing right now. You can like just keep the wave here and just zone him off if you want. If you want, I mean,
Okay.
the other option is if you get him under turret, it's gonna be really hard for him to farm under tower. So you could do that if you wanted to as well. But I think
Hmm.
personally, against like Vigar, I think yeah, keeping the wave in the middle is a little bit better because Vigar kind of thrives being under turret anyway early game.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he can just kind of farm safely if I push
Exactly.
it. I think
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Good trade. Okay. Good. Good quality reset because ETP back. ETP back. Okay. So he's got no abilities there. So I think this is a great window here to punish him. See, he just used both W and Q. There's a minion right there.
Yeah.
Okay, last I'll just run at him here. Auto WQ him.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess the question for you would be is so why don't you walk up here? Is it because you're not recognizing when's a good window to trade? Are you worried about his range? Do you not know his cooldowns? What's the like what's stopping
There
you from
I
walking
didn't
up?
recognize it. I
The,
didn't notice.
that his spells are on CD?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, good trade. Good Q. Yeah, so because basically what we're doing is we're kind of just trading spells back and forth, right? Like he burns all the spells on the wave, and then you kind of queue. Same
Yeah.
idea, right? Stand outside the wave, put some pressure when he has no abilities up. Nice. Yeah, because one thing I'm noticing is I want you to take a look at some of these trades we've had, okay? Because you've actually been doing a good job landing your E, but what I've noticed is what spell is down every time you land your E. So
Oh,
what
my
I've
Q, because
you
I'm queuing the wave.
yeah, so because what's happened is basically he's pushing, and then I think you're like subconsciously being like shit, like he's pushing, I gotta push back, right? So then
Mhm.
you use your Q, but then what happens is they'd run up with no abilities, and you're like, well, wait a minute, this guy's just running into me. I'm gonna charm him. So like your charm is great, but then you have no Q. You see that? So you can't really punish him as well as you would like to, right? Because imagine if you had Q here, the trade would be way better. So what I would say is be more patient with your Q.
Okay.
Don't feel like you always need to use it on the wave early on. Hold it for pressure and wait and see what happens, right? Take your time with it. Maybe wait 1 or 2 seconds after he uses the spells on the wave and ask yourself, like, hey, do I want to push right now or do I want to try to trade, right? And then the core premise is that you want to try to combine your charm with Q, right? So charm him when you have Q up. What the heck? That's crazy.
It was. I didn't think he would go for that.
What the fuck? Okay. We take those.
So here I would want to push like hard, right? Because we're
Yep.
same health and mana.
Yep. Push hard. And what else is happening on the map right now?
My jungler Garen or
They're being proactive
I
right now,
think they're
right?
doing this
They're
double
doing the
crab.
crab.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. But they're being
Yeah.
proactive. So basically, the next level, the next layer to Ahri laning, right? So layer one is like understanding how to punish the enemy, right? How to actually get in range because your champion's short range. So you're against these higher range champions, like how do we actually get in range to punish, which we kind of talked about, right? Now the second level, which would be once you hit your wave clear breakpoint, so you hit your last chapter and you're level 7, okay, is we want to be really thinking about what is our jungler doing, okay, and how can we sync up with our jungler. So what I would say is like if your jungler's clearing, like let's say he's here, basically this line that I've drawn here. All right, let me draw it better. Anything in this area, more or less, they're being defensive, right? Like they're just farming, right? They're not doing a
Mhm.
proactive play. Okay. So whenever they're in this kind of bubble of the map, so your relative side of the map here, don't feel like you need to push. Okay. You can keep playing for
Okay.
trades. You can go for your own reset. You can go for your vision, yada, 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 right? You can do something else that's good for yourself. But if they're anywhere here, right, this
Like in the
means
river and beyond.
yeah, let me use red. So here, I would say you really want to sync up with them. Like if they're invading, you really want to try to push and move with them past like 7, 8 minutes in the game. Okay, and then I would say
Okay.
this yellow area, I would say, which is the river, be adaptable. So if their jungler is contesting, push and help. But if the jungler isn't the enemy jungler isn't fighting your jungler, don't worry about being here.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? So it's like 3 stages. It's like blue here means like don't really stress about what they're doing. Okay. Yellow means like be paying attention and kind of react. Red means like you've got to be there. Like you better move and push and move, right? Especially if your team is diving or something. Like you better get over there.
Okay. Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but that's a good point.
Okay, so let's write that down. So we got blue line, which is your side. Don't stress too much. Jungle. I would say yellow. So this is river. Um, react such be adaptable. And then I think red is like dive slash invade need to be there. Post slash chapter and ult. So right now I would be like, yeah, you can push if you want, but like don't feel like you need to be with your jungler unless something's happening. That would be my mindset here. Okay. Yep. Yeah, we can just keep them pushed in if we want. It's good. I guess here you were a little scared, right? Is that why you're queuing from so far away? Were you a bit worried of his cage or getting ganked?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
the cage.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of similar to what we're talking about. I think if you're standing over here, it's a little easier to get your Q and avoid his cage, right? If you're back here, because you also got your vision that you can lean towards.
Mhm. So I need to stand outside the way more.
Yeah, just stand outside the main way more. And the way you'd be safe is because you already got your vision down, so you don't really need to worry about getting ganked when you're off to the side like that. Okay, nice. Yeah, play with your jungler. Nice. I like the R patience. Good. You can kill them all. Really nice. Yeah, so this is exactly what you should be doing, right? We're in the river, so Vi's like could be making a play, so you sync up with your Vi's. It's perfect. You guys win a little 2v3. You might even kill Vigar too.
I think I did, but it was kinda clumsy.
Yeah, because I think the problem is you didn't use your last R charge, right? Your R is actually running out. So I think you need to mash it
Yeah.
to get your last R charge. It would have been a little easier. Okay, nice. Okay, you got your malignants. Nice. Yep, your jungler's making a proactive play. Good R. Probably keep chasing this guy. Okay. Play the jungler here. This should be an easy fight. Very nice. So what I've noticed, I'm really glad you brought this game because I can see your strengths very, very clearly. You're actually really good at understanding when the objectives are up and what your jungler's doing. Very, very nice, right? Like you're
Yeah,
constantly with
that's
your
what
jungler.
Curtis said. He
Yeah,
said, like, "My jungle awareness is, like, fine.
it's very
It's,
good.
like, the lane."
Yeah, yeah, and I think what basically what you're struggling with lane, it's not even RE specifics. It's mid lane. It's high level mid lane fundamentals. If that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what? How do you play mid in general? Like, if you were any champ, I would say the same thing, right? As what we've been covering. So, which makes total sense because you played a lot of RE games, which means your RE mastery is very high, right?
Mhm.
So when we think about like the bell curve of you as a player, like the RE specifics are up there already. So we don't need to focus at all on RE specifics. So if I were you, like after the session, my takeaway would be like, okay, I need to really develop my mid lane specific skills, right? Like what makes a mid laner a good mid laner, right? Which is
Mhm.
trading on cooldowns. So putting a lot of
Yeah.
energy on tracking their cooldowns. Like actually put mental energy on that. Put mental energy on standing in a good position, like outside the wave, and put mental energy and being comfortable and confident with walking up and trading when they need to go for a last hit. That'd be like
Yeah.
my specific things I would set for you based on this VOD. We'll cover the other one because hopefully you have a melee one, but either way, we'll cover another one.
I think it was uploading.
Okay.
Let me see if it's done.
Okay. Nice. Get the kill on Vagar. Yep. And I think it seems like you're very good at the late lane too, is what it seems like. Like,
Yeah, once I get, like, chapter and stuff,
yeah,
like, it feels a lot better.
right. Yeah, because you're kind of destroying this guy, and then lane two is kind of over here. Maybe we'll just look at this last fight here. Well, this one is gonna be pretty straightforward. What do we not have right now?
I don't have my ult,
Exactly.
so
No ult, no fight.
I think just because we had, like, numbers, like, I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, let me see," but
Yeah, I would be very defensive without R, right? I would play very, very defensive. So what I would do is just charm this guy and then back off. Is
okay.
probably what I would do instead of going forward. Okay, let's see if the other one is up here.
See if you can open
All right,
the one I sent.
let's try Chrome as well. Okay, Chrome looks like it's working. All right.
Is this the Galio one?
Yeah, Galio.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we've got versus melee. So this is versus range. I think even against melee, some of these fundamentals transfer. But it's less about walking up and more about just punishing your last hits, right? That's really the key against melees. Try to be on top of punishing against last hits, but in terms of like walking up and having an aggressive position, it's a lot harder to do against melee champions.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Nice. Get all three melee minions. I mean, the wave's already in a good spot. I mean, I would love the wave to be here.
Against melee, you, like, prefer the wave more neutral, right?
Yeah, so you have a few options, right? Like what you want to do is if you can get push early game, like you can push early and then have the wave come back out to you and then you could freeze it kind of over here. But yeah, like you want it in this pocket at some point early game, right? I would say like first 7 levels before you get your last chapter. This kind of area here is great for us.
Would you have to do Q start to be able to, like, bounce the wave back like that? Because I feel like it's hard to get when you do the W start.
Yeah, so what you really want to thing about Ari is that Ari's level 1 is really good against most melee champions because the way melee champions work is that they need all three of their basic spells to get on you, right? I don't know how many melee champions you've played. Like, have you played any melee champions before?
I played Akali and Diana like in normals, but
Okay.
it's not really my thing.
Right. Okay. So yeah, we'll talk about it. So I'll show you again a VOD of me playing against a melee champion as Ari. I don't know. Let's see which one could highlight my example here. Well, probably Zed, Zed or Yone. Let's do Yone. So yeah, when you're playing against melee champions, what you need to understand is that they need all three of their leveled up abilities to win. Okay, so if we think about Diana, right? Because you play Diana and Akali. Okay, so what Diana needs her Q, which is like the crescent thing. Okay,
Hmm.
but she can't get onto you without her E, right? So at the very least, she
Right.
needs level 2. Okay, but then if she goes in with Q and E at level 2, she doesn't have her shield, which is her W. So you're just gonna win. So most melee champions they need to be level 3 before they can fight you. Okay. There's some exceptions. I think Irelia, Echo, and Yasuo are the first two that come to mind where they can really fuck you up before level 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the other melees, not really. You should be able to win early game because they need all three of their spells to get onto you. So like, we'll just look at this Yone one, for example. I'll just show you what I mean. So the way you would get pushed early against a champ like Yone or even Akali or what's another weak melee champion? Kiana, one of these, or even Galio, is whenever they go for a minion, you go forward with your auto attacks. So you notice how the second he goes for this last hit, so notice again, I'm punishing on the last hit, right? This
Hmm.
melee here. When he goes for that, I walk up, auto W auto. You see that? I go forward. And then what this and then every time he tries to go for any minions, I'm gonna auto attack him. And so the reason why this is important is this stops him from thinning the wave out. You see how my wave is slowly building out? So even though I didn't level up Q and I'm not queuing any of the minions, because I've been
Hmm.
auto attacking the wave the whole time and he hasn't, the wave is gonna push
It's
naturally.
pushing.
So this is what you need to do is you want to auto the wave to get it to push, and then your job is your goalie. You stop them from autoing.
Okay.
So when
That
he
makes
walks
sense.
up, when they walk up, you walk up and auto W auto, and then back off for a sec, and then wait for them to walk up again.
Okay. In my example, like I think I was a little late to lane, but ideally I would already be auto attacking the wave and then I would hold my W
Yeah,
for his last
exactly.
hits and
Yeah,
then it would push out.
exactly. So you're a little late to lane, which sucks, and so now you have to use your W on the wave. But like even here, right? You notice how he's walking up? This is your window here. I would just auto him because he has no way to get onto you here. Force it. Make sure he doesn't auto this wave. Yep, so that's good. Yeah, that's good. And then keep throwing your autos on the wave. And then here you got W. So walk up here and auto W him. Because he's weaker than you level 1. You notice how you're clicking back?
Yeah.
Go forward here because he's weak level 1. So I would say that, yeah, like the exceptions to this is very strong level 1 and 2 assassins. So the main ones again that come to mind are Cat, Echo, um, Yasuo, Irelia. I might be missing some. Um, but these are the first two that come to mind.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, because the problem is he got you under turret, which kind of sucks. But he lists a lot of minions, so not bad. So this is the same thing. He's not strong yet, so you don't need to be scared here. I would walk up,
Okay.
auto WQ him, like go click forward again in this situation a little bit, and then to get your Q, and then you can back off. Try to get your full rotation off because he doesn't have his E yet, right? So the way Galio works, he's got a dash on his E, right?
Okay. That's his like dive.
Yeah, his W is the circle thing that taunts, okay, and his Q is the projectile, the wave thing, the wind thing.
Okay.
So when you're playing against Galio, again, he needs all three abilities because if he goes on you with E and he doesn't have his taunt, right, the swirl, you can just run away and he can't really trade with you. So before he's level 3, he can't do much to you. Yeah, now he's level 3, we gotta respect that. That, dash that he has. Yeah, good. Nice. Nice. Yeah, Wade's in a good spot, good trading. So, okay, the other thing about melee champions, this is really, really important, just high level, is that melee champions need to be healthier than the range champion in order to win a fight. Okay, I'm gonna give you a
Okay.
really extreme example. Okay, let's say you're full HP Ari, and there's a Zed, and he has all of his abilities, but he's at 10% health. He can't do shit to you, right? If he goes in and all ins you, you just W him, and he's probably dead, right?
Yeah.
So I'm giving this extreme example to illustrate the point. Whereas, so the healthier you are relative to them, the more aggressive you should be. Because if he jumps on you now, with this HP difference, you'll literally just kill him, right?
Okay.
Because he's too low to back off before you can kill him, and he's too low to get a good trade onto you. Now, if you're both at 20%, he wins. If you're both at full health, he wins. Same thing. So it's if you have a health difference, a big health difference, be aggressive against these melee champions. This is really, really, really important because if you're aggressive here, you keep autoing him, even when you have no abilities. If he jumps on you, you just auto him, charm him, auto him, auto him, auto him. Your next W comes up and you probably kill him. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think I'm noticing that.
Right. So yeah, that's what I would say is like the relative HP percentage diff is the sign that you can be very aggressive. Okay. I would say it's like, for example, like 60% HP Ari versus 30% HP Galio. If he jumps on you, you're fine.
Do the melee champions normally run the D shield where they have health regen?
Only Yone and Yasuo really do that.
So Galio wouldn't.
No, Galio one. And
Okay.
and what I would do, that's a great question. I would always check before the lane starts. So press tab and check.
Okay.
That would be something I would check. Is like if they have D shield, yeah, it's gonna be harder. But if they don't, then you could be like, okay, well, even if they get low, they can't really regen that much. Yeah, because the problem is you got good trades, but you didn't stop him from pushing the wave. You see that because you weren't aggressive enough when he was low. So
Yeah.
he can just kind of push and reset if he wants. Yeah, this is good. Like he can't do shit to you. Just keep fighting, keep fighting. Go forward. So notice how you're clicking away? Look at your click. You
Mm,
see how you're clicking back? I would actually go forward. Because I'd recognize, hey, he's too low. He can't fight me at this HP.
like you would know right there that you would win
Yeah,
the
because the
fight.
HP difference. That's the sign.
What about like I think maybe because all my spells are down, I'm like, "Oh, I need to back off."
Mm, mm.
Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, yeah, great question. So what you gotta understand early game is that the way mages deal damage early game is very unintuitive. It's from your auto attacks against a melee champion, right? Because your auto
Okay.
attack always does 60. It does like it adds up. Let me see if I have an example here of me playing against a melee champ. Um, okay, like here's an example. I have no abilities, but I'm still walking out autoing him. So every auto attack I do does 40 damage to him. Okay, so if you think about it, if this galley runs in and you auto him like 10 times, that's
Mhm.
400. That's 400 damage. Think about that. That
How much does my Q do?
at this point in the game, like 90.
Oh, okay.
So the majority of your damage early game against melee champions is auto attacks.
Okay.
And that
And
comes from moving them in.
since he's like put like in my wave, will the minions attack him
Yes, that
too?
too. That as well,
Okay.
which also adds a lot of extra damage because each one of those minions firing does 9 damage to him. So if we could just if we just look at his HP, look at his HP right now. Each
Yeah.
minion volley, like each auto is doing 37. Each minion volley is doing 27. That's 50 damage a second. That's way more than your Q and W and E. Like way more. So it's like early lane pre first base, minions plus autos actually do the majority of damage. Like I would say
Yeah.
electrocute, your W, and autos is where your damage comes from early game as an RE. So don't be afraid
Okay.
to like run at him and auto him when you have the lead. Let me see. I have an echo example here as well where that happens. Um, Yeah, okay, look at this one. So I even took E, by the way. I didn't even take Q. And the reason why I took E is because if he jumps on me, guess what? I get a billion auto attacks. So look, I charm him.
Mhm.
He runs at me,
Okay.
which means I have more time to auto him. So auto 40, right? My charm only did what? 80. So my two autos the same amount of damage as my charm. And I only got two auto attacks there. But that's not also factoring the autos I got back here, right? So if we look at this one, I got another one there. That's another 40. So I did like 120 just from auto attacks in that situation. There's another 40, another 42, 82. So far in this lane, my autos have done like 300 in the first two levels.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely not thinking about that. I think I'm panicking because 'cause they're
Yeah.
jumping on me and my
Yeah, that's
spells
very
are down.
normal. That's very, very normal for already players to experience that. Yeah, because it's not intuitive. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not that's not something you learn from just playing the game. It's not like you need to like someone kind of needs to tell you like, hey, like your auto attack's actually majority of the damage, right? I think a lot of high elo players take that for granted because that's like someone else taught them early in their journey. You know what I mean? And then they kind of like internalized it. Um, but yeah, so that's something really, really, really important to keep in mind is all a majority of damage is from electrocute and auto attacks early game against melees. And so that's why having that relative HP difference is so important because that will allow you to not be scared if he jumps on you because he's like too low. And then your auto attacks will finish him off. So like same thing here, right? I don't think you need to be defensive because you'll just win if he jumps on you here. He's too low. I'd like walk up and run at him and be like, hey man, like go on me. Eat me, I dare you, right? I'll just kill you. Jump on me.
Yeah, I guess so.
But does that make sense how you would recognize that in the game? Like what is the behavior different the behavior change? Like, what are the signs?
Yeah, like if they have certain percentage HP lower than me, like
Yes.
I'm gonna win the
Correct.
trades.
Yep. And then in terms of what the practice is melee champions is this. The auto attacks. Get comfortable with weaving in as many auto attacks and notice how much damage your autos do when when you're weaving them a lot.
Okay.
And if you're not comfortable doing that in rank, that's fine. I would say go play a few normals and just practice that against melee champions. Or do 1v1s even, right? In the MLA. Ask other, high silver, low gold MLA
Yeah, yeah,
members.
me and Maddie and Justin do them
Yeah,
sometimes. It's
great.
it's really fun.
Yeah, exactly. And like just get in there and be like, hey guys, like I really want to practice feeling the weight of my auto attack against a melee champion, right? And get them to play
Yeah.
melee champion against you and just feel out what that's like. Yeah, yeah, great. So look at this. Based on what we talked about, look at the difference right now. Look, think about your relative power difference compared to him, right? You're on a fresh reset, so you're basically up 700 gold compared to him. He hasn't spent any of his money, and you have
And the health.
look at the health. But
There's like
notice,
multiple advantages.
yeah, but notice your clicks here. So this is because you're scared, which it makes sense to be scared against a melee champion. But I think yeah, you haven't noticed yet the signs that make you stronger than him, right?
So you would just start
I
walking
would literally run at
towards
him.
him?
I would literally
You would
run at
just
him.
run at him.
I would literally run at him and
Okay.
stand right here. And if he goes on me, you would just kill him.
Okay.
That's literally what I would do. Let me look at my echo one. I think there's a situation where he gets low and I just really run at him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here we go. So I took some good trades because of my auto attacks. Well, he's gonna go. Just look at what I do. Look at my positioning. I'm literally running at him because he can't do
Okay.
anything. If he
Yeah.
goes on me, he's just dead. I had to get a guy flash. And
Any flash.
keep in mind,
Yeah.
I think I play on NA, but this Echo is the highest elo, second highest after 610, second highest Echo player in the world. He's playing on NA, so it's like if I can do that against this guy, it's like this is just the fundamentals, right? We need to improve the fundamentals pretty much.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's crazy. Your skill shot accuracy is so good. Like the fact you landed charm here is crazy, but you're just back clicking. If you forward
Mhm.
clicked, you just kill him here. You imagine you got one more auto attack there, one or two more auto attacks. He's dead. Okay. Yeah. So now it's gonna be a little tough because he's on a fresh reset, he's full health. So now I don't mind you being a little bit more defensive. I think this makes total sense.
Yeah, I have a question about like the Galio lane specifically. So
Yeah,
like once he gets some items like that, he's really tanky. I mean,
correct.
there's no way I can really kill him unless he does
Nope.
something stupid. So like am I just trying to neutralize at that point?
Yep, try to get every soul last hit. That would be my mindset. I would be switching to making sure you don't lose a single minion. Just farm
Okay.
every single minion and stay safe. That would be my mindset.
Okay.
And that's why it's so important against Gallo you win really hard the first 5 levels, because that's before he's based and got his tank stats.
Yeah, that's like your chance.
Yeah. So this is really important. When you're playing Ari, you really do not want to move to an objective and be around the area and hit it. Okay?
Okay.
What you want to be doing when you're playing Ari and there's a neutral objective is you want to make sure your mid wave is pushed, or if you can't, just be in fog of war. Like be here and play to wait for somebody to walk in and go for a chunk. You basically never want to be around the neutral objective as an RA because you're an assassin. You want to come from a flank. So if you stand right here, let's say the enemy want to fight you guys. If you stand here, it's way less threatening for them if they see you compared if you're in here, right? I want you to imagine a world where like they're a jungler and their ADC and support walk this way, and you're standing here, right? And you go for a combo here, rather than they're walking this way and you're standing right here, right? They're gonna see you and
Yeah.
dodge your skills, but if you're in here, they can't see you. So you want to make sure
Okay.
whenever during a neutral objective, you're playing in fog of war. Try to be one of these brushes and go for a chunk as they're entering.
Do you just have to like hope the bush isn't worded?
Yeah, well, because the thing is, you're Ari, right? So if they jump on you, like think about it like this, right? If your team is on the objective and you stand here and they jump on you, you are creating so much time for your team to do their thing, right? Because now you're kind of splitting the
Yeah.
enemy team off, and you could R away and W away and E away. But yes, later into the game you want sweeper, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then you sweep the bush or buy control ward and control ward the bush. But yeah, usually even if I don't know it's warded, I'll still send a bush and to kind of see how they're playing. If it looks like they're running towards me, then I'll be like, okay, fuck, maybe it's warded,
It's
and I'll
probably
back off.
worded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Um. So I would say yeah, like just in general, on neutrals, I would say like step one, don't move unless it's a really important fight. Um, if you don't have wave pushed, right? So your step one is make sure that mid wave is pushed. So you notice here how your
So
mid
would
wave
you
isn't
have
pushed.
like
I
yeah,
would
I
just
was
queue
gonna
this
ask,
wave.
you would just stay. Okay.
Stay because remember when you're Ari, being a little late is not the end of the world due to the fact that you can just gap close with R and W and flash, right? But uh, like this is like a soul fight. Like, let's say it's like 25 minutes of the game. Yeah, obviously just drop the waves. Like fuck the waves. But this early in the game, you really want to make sure you get your waves before you move. But the second thing is once you do move, don't show on vision around the neutral pit. Stay around brushes and go for a chunk slash poke. Let me see if I have an example. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, it's literally 1-to-1 with this with the one you just had here. So push the wave. Look at this. You see how I just sit here and I just chill,
Yeah.
and then notice how boom midway's here. Go back to mid.
You're just kind of like watching and guarding, like just
Exactly.
in case.
Yeah.
What if they were like on the little pedestal thing, like trying to contest it, then what would you do?
You mean like here,
Yeah, yeah, right there.
around here? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I would do is, as long as you're before your laner, that's all you care about. So that's the number one
Okay.
key thing. Is like, don't worry if you're late. Just ask yourself, am I before my laner? That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So let's take your example. Let's say they're here. Okay. Who's first to this play? If let's say me and Echo both start moving right now.
You are because
Exactly.
you have Pria.
So I'm fine.
Yeah.
But let's say Echo was here, then yeah, I would have to move early. You know what I mean? And sacrifice the wave. Does that make
If
sense?
your opponent like ditches the wave, should you also?
It depends how important the fight is. I think for the first dragon of the game, it's not that important. But if it's like the third dragon, yeah. So I would say depends on the point of the game. Earlier in the game, the less important it is for you to ditch your wave to move.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Because yeah, your mind says already it's like we want to get these waves. So the fact we lost this entire wave, we're not happy with this, right? As an Ari,
because it's so early.
it's so early. You got to remember. Do you know how much a value a half a minion wave is, or a full minion wave? Like compared to a kill. Do you know how much the value is compared to a kill?
I think so because I watched, like, one of the lectures on it. It's like is it, like, half a kill?
Yeah, it's half a kill.
Yeah, okay.
So I want you to imagine you just sacrifice a guaranteed half a kill for a chance
Yeah.
for a kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you burned your R. So best case scenario when you're playing Ari is you both get the wave and then you move and get the kill, right? And on the flip side, the worst case is you move, you don't get a kill, and you also lost the wave. Because now you were actually doing a great job in the galley, and now you're really behind. Like you're really behind him. Because he also got a plate. So now if you combine that half a kill from the wave and the plate, he's up a full kill already. Imagine he just killed you randomly. That's pretty much what just
Yeah.
happened,
Yeah.
right?
And I don't have my ult.
And now you don't have your R. Exactly. So because you were up, I think 15 CS, and now look, right?
5.
You're down 5. You just it was a 20 CS swing from
Yeah.
sacrificing his wave. So it's like you really try to avoid sacking waves early on, right? Once you get your items, sure, right? But in general, like because you're Ari, you push really fast. So just be like push fast, then move fast, right? You want to be really quick with that. It's like, okay, my team's on a play. I'm gonna push as fast as I can, then move. You know what I mean? Try to get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, so I should have just, like, kinda hovered in the bush and then, like, went
Immediately go
back to
back.
my lane.
Exactly like what I
Yeah.
did there in this example. Exactly,
Yeah.
right? Be like this. Hover for a sec, go back mid, hover, go back mid, go back mid, hover. You know what I mean? Yeah, so if we look at this one, let's compare this trade. I mean, honestly, it's not even bad. I think you just got overly scared. I don't think you should have flashed. I think this is again where you can just keep holding your ground with your charm. So most melee champions do not win extended fights. So what I mean by that is like okay, again, I would say the exception is Irelia, Yasuo, and Yon. These are the exceptions to this rule. But most magic damage based melee champs have one burst rotation, then they need to wait 10 seconds before they can do that again, right? So let's just open up the Galio wiki real quick. Okay. So Galio, he's level 8. Okay. So Galio's Q at level 8 is an 8-second cooldown. Okay. His W is 18 seconds. And his E is 10 seconds. Okay. So when he jumped on you like that, what's the earliest before he has another ability up?
8
8
seconds,
seconds.
I think.
So once he jumps on you, you have 8 seconds where he can use another ability on you.
So I should just keep autoing
Keep
him.
autoing and charming him and popping your pots and chilling. But you notice how you panicked and he flashed. Like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, he bursted me. Right? He's gonna kill me. But actually, he has nothing up, so he has no damage
Does the
anymore.
fact that he is a level above me, should I take that into account?
Yeah, definitely. But the only reason why I'm not commenting on that because I want us to get comfortable with the first point we talked about here. Right? This one. So if we notice your relative HP difference, you're way further ahead than him. So I don't mind the
Okay,
fact that you're aggro here. Like maybe we do a session in the future and you get this, you nail this down and you feel really confident with this. Then we can talk about like okay, level differences, champion like specifics, item differences for sure.
sure.
But I want us to focus on this, right? I don't want it to be too overwhelming for you here as well.
Okay.
But yes, to answer your question, for the sake of answering it, yes, having a level difference definitely makes a difference for sure early in the game. Okay. Yep, get the wave, base, dark seal, good. So again, if we freeze frame this, what do we notice here in this situation in this matchup? Sorry, let me
Um,
get a better screenshot with his HP. There we go.
of his health bar. Yeah,
Uh,
I have more health than
hmm
him.
And in terms of his items, so we just go back. How much gold has he spent on his items compared to you? These are both 400.
Oh, he hasn't spent.
So 800 spent plus boots,
Yeah.
so that's 1100. Okay. You spent 1200, right? 350, so that's 1550,
300 and
1850,
150.
2000. So you're 1200 gold up over him right now. You're up literally 1200 gold. And you're up health. So this is your window
Okay.
to be really aggressive.
So walk at him?
Yep, run it, just run at him. And if he jumps on you like he did earlier, be confident. Because again, he can only do one rotation every 10 seconds. And then you would just kill him. You would literally run him down, right? You would auto QWE him. When he's running, you would R auto, and he's dead. Right? Weaving in those autos like we talked about.
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I of course don't expect you to get this down like on our first the first time hearing it, but these I'm planting basically the ideas right to get you to start practicing these things.
Mhm. Do I have a health advantage over him right now because um he has more health overall?
Yeah, yeah. So what I mean is the relative health, the percentage difference.
Okay.
So you're 100%, he's at 60%. Don't look at it at the this like the actual number. Look at the
Okay.
percentage difference. Okay.
Mhm.
Because you got to remember, even though he has more flat health than you, Yali was designed to have more. So that's like baked into the matchup already, if that makes sense. You know, that's like factored in already. Yeah, so because we're kind of giving him too much control over the map, right? That's the issue here. Yeah, because we're kind of just trading back and forth, whereas I think you should be way more aggressive on him because he's so low. It's like, here, just kill him, or onto him. He would be dead here. Okay, nice. Ooh, I think it's the same idea. You see how you're clicking backwards? You would be just clicking forwards in this situation. You notice how this fight's not even a
Yeah.
little bit close? Look at how not close this is. So there's no reason to click back. You don't need to be scared here.
Yeah, I'm panicking for
Yeah,
sure. Do you
exactly.
think I should have fired sooner or
Yeah, well, what I would do, this is
okay.
good. I would, or more aggressively.
Like now or
Yeah, exactly
even
now. So
sooner?
so when you Q, use your R to redirect your Q. I mean, you hit it anyway, but that's like the idea, right? Q1,
Mhm.
then use your dash to redirect your Q2 while you're running at him and autoing him. So yeah, you're spot on. I think you should R those faster there. Okay, and then now he's on a fresh reset. He's got his full item, so now you can't do shit anymore in this lane. I think this lane is kind of done. There's not really much you can do. But does that make sense against a melee champion? The types of things you need to work on.
It does, yeah.
Okay, so let's just talk. Let's just break down. So the ranged, the range stuff, and then the melee stuff. So I think the main things for this one is relative. I don't know why it's crossing it out. Relative HP difference, right? So if you are much healthier or had a better base, right? Be aggro and invite them to go on you, right? That's the first thing. And I think the second thing is like weave in more auto attacks early game. This is the bulk of your damage. And I think your wave management is good. Like your wave resets, your wave management. Again, all your art spells are very good. So I don't think you
Okay.
even need to work on that. Just work on like high level range versus melee specific stuff. Um, and yeah, try to stop them from pushing by hitting them before they have their three basic spells, right? For level 3. And again, there are exceptions, and you might have to learn this the hard way, but the ones that come to mind are again Echo, Irelia, Yasuo would be the exceptions. These guys are really OP level first
Yeah,
levels one
Aurelia
and two.
sucks.
Yeah, Irelia is really bad for our early game. I hate this matchup. And then for range stuff, what I want you to focus on is trading on low HP minions, right? So find the specific minion you want to trade for. So recall the Viagra one where you kind of walked up at level 1. There wasn't really a specific reason, right? Why I walked up, other than like, okay, like Ari is really strong level 1. I want to try a trade, right? I want you to always
Yeah.
think about it for like this. Think about this. These are your signs to trade. Okay. I think the other thing is like pay attention to range champ CDs and then walk up when he has no CDs, right? So go back to the Vigar example, right? As you said, you weren't noticing when he uses spells. So that comes from putting mental stack on that, right?
Mhm.
Um, what else do we talk about for the Vigar? Oh yeah, he had no mana, right? So early lane, when you have advantage, keep neutral and deny minions.
Yeah. Yeah.
These would be the things I'd work on. And like I would say if we're gonna package all this into like a big high level thing you need to work on, it's just you need to work on mid lane specific skills. So AK skills that would transfer to every champion in the game, right? And so what I'd recommend you do is if you need additional context, of course you can send me a message or send me a clip, I'll take a look. But check out the high level mid lane laning fundamentals on the site as well. I could probably send you
Okay.
a few links out there if you just want like as an additional bonus content if you need it to practice
Okay.
these specifics. But other than that, in terms of what you're really good at, your RE specifics are fantastic, right? Are much higher than your level of play, right?
Thank you.
Because when I watch other RE players at your elo range, their R's the resets are sloppy, their trading is sloppy, right? Their R usage is too rushed. They're not syncing with their jungle. You're doing all that great, which means like if we were to have a bell curve of your level of play, like I would say like your art specifics are like even higher than gold, honestly. You're getting held back by your mid lane specific stuff, right? Like roaming
Yeah.
without pushing your wave, right, on the dragon, not playing fog of war, not trading when they're low, not using your auto attacks. These are the things holding you back, in my opinion.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I was like kind of like getting a little like I don't know, like discouraged lately cuz I
Hmm.
feel like I don't know what's going wrong,
Yeah,
but
it makes
this helps.
it makes total sense. 'Cause, like, if we just pull up your OPGG again, this makes total sense why you feel really frustrated. Okay, because this is what happens when someone mains a champion for a lot of games. Is you start to feel like you're bashing your head against a wall and you're like, what the fuck is happening? I have so many games on my champ. Why am I not getting better? But the game
Yeah.
doesn't teach you the skills that you need to learn to improve to climb. Because think about it, right? Let's take another silver student. Let's say they play instead of only Ari, they played Ari plus Xerath. Okay? Well, guess what? They're gonna learn. Their art masters would be a lot lower, but they would the game would naturally teach them the skills that we just described today. You see that? So
Yeah.
don't feel bad that you're stuck. It's not because you're bad at Ari. It's because the game hasn't actually taught you the skills someone playing like six champs would teach them, right? So it's like being OTP is great, but we just got to be on the lookout for like, okay, sometimes we might not be developing high level mid lane specific skills. So if I were you, whenever you feel like stuck, look for those things. Don't look for art specifics. Look for more high level mid lane skills to work on and develop.
Like general
Yes,
things.
general things. It's like, okay, am I pushing
Okay.
before I'm roaming? How's my warding and leaning looking like? Right? Am I like getting a lead in my lane? These are like more high level mid lane skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that's good. Do you want to go over another VOD? I feel like we already have plenty here, though.
No, that's plenty.
Yeah,
That's a
I don't
lot.
want to overwhelm you too much.
Yeah.
There's already a lot, but if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, just remember this is our high level thing, and don't feel like you need to do all this at once. Maybe just pick. Okay, for range, I'm just gonna pick this, right?
Mhm.
For melee, I'm just gonna pick this, and that's all I'd work on if I were you for like 2 or 3 weeks. Just focus on only these two things.
Do you think I should read these things like the little summaries at the bottom like before I'm going
Yes,
into a
I would
match?
literally, if I were you,
Okay.
like I would literally have a sticky note for these two things and just read
Yeah.
it before the game or have a notepad. I literally have a notepad for me personally. This isn't league related, but this is more like real life mindset related. I literally have a notepad that I read every single day when I wake up, right? And I sit down and I just read this to myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna remind myself I should smile more. How difficult the life is. I'll always grow from it, and this helps me so much.
Right.
So I would 100% do that as well for league if I were you.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll do that.
lovely. I'm gonna send you those notes, and let me stop the recording right now.